It is in progress.
Live on Facebook.
Live on the Facebook, live on the Zoom, and live on the pre-roll.
10, 9, 8.
I always love this
7,
countdown.
6.
You like the countdown?
5.
Yeah.
4.
It's like take your
We have
sip
a
of
couple
coffee,
new
get
ones.
ready.
We have a new
Buckle
one
your
coming.
seatbelt.
1, 0.
Let's go.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Let's go, Kim.
Okay, let's go. My seatbelt's on.
Number 1.
Welcome to the JPAR Morning Club.
And welcome JPAR Nation for this November 11th, 2021. And our special guest, Kim Taylor from the Kim Taylor Group. Kim, welcome.
Good morning. I have a question. Is
Yes.
it really November 11th?
Did I say November 11th? No, November 9th. No, November 11th
good.
is
Okay,
Veterans
because I
Day.
thought I lost a couple days and I was kind of panicking.
Well, November 11th is on my mind because that's Veterans Day. And as a veteran, I special place in my heart for all of our veterans out there this week.
Yes. Sorry, just had to, I had to look at my date of my computer and I go, oh my gosh, I've lost a couple more days. More panic.
Well, and you can't lose a couple more days because you and I were talking, this is kind of the week. If it's not in the hopper this week, it's probably not going to close this year and it's going to push to next year. Is that right?
I mean, yeah, let's be real. I mean, I was out showing last night, drove from Roanoke to Little Elm, and I was showing to some California buyers, and it kind of struck me when this house that they thought they were going to love, they didn't like it again. I'm like, oh my gosh. And it just dawned on me. I'm like, crap. I'm like running out of time. If I don't get them under contract this week, it's more than likely, it's very possible it could get delayed. What if you have an appraisal issue? We've got Thanksgiving, we've got Christmas. It may not happen. And that's kind of scary. I mean, for a lot of you new agents, I know that panic sets in because you got that number that you were trying to meet. And it's like, oh my gosh, the reality is I mean, we're looking at the middle of November almost. So,
Right.
And you deal with holidays and it really messes stuff up.
Well, let's talk about Realtor Safety for a minute, because you mentioned, hey, you're out last night. It's dark. It's now getting dark early. It's 5:30 showings.
Mm-hmm.
And I posted in I think the JPAR Nation page, the Realtor Safety page. But is that a concern for you? Do you think about that? And how do you adjust your showings with the change in time?
Well, you definitely have to think more. And it was kind of that reality check yesterday when my clients were like, okay, well, it's probably going to be dark. It gets dark at, 5:42. And I was like, I was reminded again that this time of year is so hard, which, packs everything to the weekend. So it's like, okay, great. I'm probably going to be showing them like 5 houses Saturday, but back to the safety part of it. You do have to be more aware.
Right.
I tend to, I mean, we're in Texas. I think I can say this, I tend to carry everybody on my team carries.
Mm-hmm.
And so I get kind of lazy because if I'm with my team, I know that Tabitha or Nadine are going to have their gun on them. But for me, it's like, you have to be more aware. I mean, you're constantly looking around, thank God I know these buyers really, really well. They were a referral and, the home was occupied. If you're going to a vacant home, be safe, be smart. We have something inside of us that you have that little dinger that will alert you. And we have to be not going so fast all the time that we're not attentive to, the Holy Spirit or that little something inside of you that cautions you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's important. Especially some of these areas that, we have to go to show houses.
In the military, we called it situational awareness.
Situational awareness. If you've taken a CHL class, that's what they'll say.
Same thing. It's just being aware, having your, leveling up your awareness. Now, Shannon's posting the link to the Realtor Safety page, which is full of great resources. So what else are you working on? Is your you're running a team, you're a team leader, you have an amazing culture. What are the things that you're working on as you wrap up the year?
It's that I it's that kind of the basic stuff, right? It's important stuff because as a new agent, sometimes you may not know this, but you need to be sending out your homestead exemption forms, which you can get a beautiful flyer from your preferred title company. Reach out to them and they have a beautiful homestead exemption flyer. You know, I just mailed out all mine. I'm a little bit early. Probably could have waited another month, but I just had to get them out because now I'm working on Christmas cards. I like to send handwritten Christmas cards to all my past clients for the last 7 years. That list is growing. You know, when you have a team, you've got to be thinking, what do I need to be doing for my team? I've already called my title company, scheduled my 2022, business planning. It's like, give me all the 2022 stuff. You want the calendars, the desk calendars,
Mhm.
all that good stuff, all the pop by little cards that they have made. And, we're scheduling our vision board. We have a big vision board party. It's like everybody BYOB, bring your favorite bottle of wine. And I order all the boards and the fun stuff. And that is a really good team bonding thing that we
Uh-huh.
like to do in December.
So is that just part of your culture? You get together, do the vision boards every year, and you build the stuff, and it's kind of what a great idea for all of you listening in that either have a small group or need to start a small group. But if you're not on a team, you can get 3 or 4 people in your office.
Absolutely.
Shannon has the small group app. You can create a small group. Just do one for a vision board and see if the group develops in your. Yeah, that's a great opportunity.
That's how my team really started, Mark. I was doing the 2020
small group. The Vision 2020 group. You did a
and
Vision
I was
2020
leading one
group.
in Roanoke, and I just had people going, "Do you have a team? I want to join your team." And I was like, "I'm not really doing a team," but then I was like, I definitely heard the Lord say, "It's time to do a team," and so I was like, "Well, come on!" So that better together, that hashtag better together, it's more fun doing stuff like this with groups of people.
So Kim, your story has impacted me so much that the impact of small groups, like you started that Vision 2020 group with no intention of starting a team, and it naturally developed, and it's been such a great journey.
Yeah.
We're going to be kicking off, Shannon's going to be kicking off again on our December 14th virtual sales rally. We're going to kick off 2022 vision groups. We're going to have 4 curriculum offerings, 2 that are paid, 2 that are free. And we're going to relaunch basically the same thing we did Vision 2020 with a little different twist.
Love it. I may lead one because I very much am kind of jumping ahead here because another thing I'm working on this time of year with my team is I really start having them think about what's your word for the year. It's like we really pray about there is a way to go to dayspring.com. They don't have it up quite yet, but you can do this little questionnaire thing and it throws you a word of the year. It's kind of the cheating way to do it, but it's kind of a big deal. Like, what's your word of the year? And with that said, I've already heard that for my real estate, I kind of try to have one for my personal and one for my real estate. And for real estate, it's influencer. So I really feel like the Lord wants me to step out and do more, whether that be, on the broker associate, the support team. Like,
Right.
I'm coming up on a year finally of getting my broker's license. So I finally feel comfortable enough to, maybe I can answer some broker questions. But, and then it's like, what's that word of the year? It's like, I want to give back. I want to help people more. And I'm just not that agent. Okay, I'm really going off on a bunny trail here. I am so squirrel when I'm with you, Mark. But
okay.
I was reminded the other day at our Q3 luncheon. I went to the South Lake campus, and I'm not going to call anybody out, but we took our picture and everything. And I didn't know a couple of the people there, and I was like, hey, so I would love to tag you in Facebook. We're not Facebook friends because, you're in our picture. And he was like, oh, no, I'm not Facebook friends with any realtors. And I was like, kind of got offended by it. I was like, well, you don't want to be my friend? What? And he's like, no, I've been an agent for 30 years and I just don't do that. And I mean, I get that concept. I get it. But on the flip side of that, I'm all about agents helping agents.
Yeah.
Your sphere is completely different from my sphere. So I don't see what I'm doing. Like, I just think it's really selfish to
Well,
not
and
share.
I love the concept, part of our culture is we equip, we empower, we mentor.
Yeah.
Now, I can see, and I've been on a couple of trainings where we teach folks how to put their Facebook friends into groups. So some of us are posting a lot of things, let's say about Zillow, that our sphere could care less about.
Yeah.
Now you can post, let's say you have all of your realtor folks set up in a friends group for realtors, and then you have your friend, and then you have your close personal friends, and you can make posts,
make lists
that only go to certain folks in your list. And so Guy Arnold says he's glad to be your Facebook friend.
I know. I just saw his comment. He's one of my favorite Facebook friends.
Yeah. We're all following senior year, so we're going through the journey with you.
Yeah, I know. Sorry. I try to keep it 50-50, but you know how that goes.
Well, speaking of that, I think there's some folks missing some things on Facebook. I know we're bouncing around a little bit, but I'm seeing a lot of us post these funny memes and things about Zillow, which means nothing to the consumer. If it was me, I would be talking about JPAR Sure Sale. Hey, yeah, did you hear about Zillow? Guess what? We're still in the business. We have a better deal with JPAR Sure Sale. We sell it traditionally, swap it like a car, or we have a regional partner who'll buy it too. Come talk to us.
Yeah.
Versus, plus we have to remember there's about 25% of their people that lost their jobs. So I think we need to be a little sensitive to those folks that are on the streets coming into the holidays.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's situational awareness again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. See, we're taking something, this Zillow thing, and in my mind, many of us are missing the mark because we're making fun of Zillow, which is okay. I don't particularly care for Zillow either. They're not our friend. Neither's Realtor.com, by the way. Neither one of them are our friends. So I don't mind making fun of them, but to drive business, to drive insight into your thing, I would be leveraging JPAR Sure Sale as part of your making fun.
Yeah, that's a good point. And another thing about the Zillow thing too, we have to remember, and I say this all the time, put the shoe on the other foot. We have to remember that the consumer, they love Zillow.
They do.
You know,
Kim, I know all the Zillow executives at the highest level. I've been in their boardroom in Seattle. It's pretty amazing. They get about 80 million eyeballs. They have massive exposure, and so does Realtor.com, but neither one of them's business models, unless they change at the moment, they're really going directly to the consumer, and they've discounted the broker and the agent.
Yeah. No, I mean, as agents, we don't like them. I mean, I freaking will like boycott them and Open Door and Orchard and all them, but I know we're not supposed to boycott. I don't boycott them, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're not my favorite. If I have 3 houses, they're going to be the last one on my list that I'm going to push to go do a sell with. But I just mean from the consumer standpoint, if you're a seller looking to, like when Zillow started doing the cash deals and stuff, it's like it might have been their saving grace. And buyers love them for the stupid app because they can go get a Zestimate for free, and they
get all that stuff. Now, for those listening in, we have hired Eric Hartman, who is the digital lead marketing expert. He's the guy that does the leads for Zillow and Realtor. We've hired him. He's running our lead network at cost. For $300 a month, Shannon will put it in here, the JPAR online lead network will generate leads for you like Realtor and Zillow, 50 to 75 leads a month. That's going to convert from 2 to 4%. If you want online leads, you ought to be looking. I wouldn't spend $1 with Zillow or Realtor.
Nope.
I would spend my dollars with Eric, and they all come to you, and you own the lead. and no contract. You can turn it on and off. So
See,
Shannon,
that's huge. And I'm
yeah.
glad you mentioned that because that's actually down on my list. It's like getting back to what you should be doing now, like reevaluating what worked for you in 21 and what you want to do different for 2022. I don't provide leads for my team, but I have two agents that are really needing some traction right now, and my mindset is crud. I really wish I were buying leads. I mean, we have some referral programs like my agent finder and set schedule, a couple of things that we buy into that, like if they give you a lead and you close, you pay them like a 30% referral. But that is something I'm fixing to start doing, is probably going through the leads through JPAR. So
Yeah, for $300 a month, and I
yeah.
think you go up as high as 500. Now again, they're online leads, and
Mhm.
so you might get 50, and one or two are real.
Yeah.
So you gotta shift through the looky-loos, but you start building a pipeline. You build more people in your. If you treat it appropriately, it won't be a distraction, and but you do have to have a system in place. Well,
Yeah.
Kim, what else you got on your list there? I know you had like 2 pages
Oh my gosh,
of
it's
notes.
already, we got to start talking a little bit faster.
Okay,
You know,
I thought we were
you,
going fast enough, but that's okay.
okay, good. Well, it's already 8:20. I don't want to lose people. So, the thing about it is, and I'm looking at my list here because I don't want to forget anything. Vision board. Okay. You got to be contacting all your buyers. Like I told my girls the other day, I'm like, go to your MLS page. You have all these people set up on searches that have been like looking, and you got them in rentals. You need to be doing video text. Oh, where's my phone? There. You need to be doing video text to all those people. Like, do a quick 1 minute check in and send them all a video text. Um, I like putting a name in front of a face, so I've started doing that, and I've gotten huge response doing that.
Mm,
Are you doing an end of the year client appreciation?
mm.
As a new agent, I know that seems, because you're thinking, oh my gosh, I need thousands of dollars. I put it off for years because I was afraid of the commitment, the money commitment. Guys, it is not that expensive. I do a free pumpkin pie for all my clients. I do a cute little video. I send it in Bomb, which is a great service you can get through JPAR. $25 a month. I do my video, I upload it, I send it, I do a Google Doc. Do you want an apple or pumpkin? Now, this year I'm only offering pumpkin. But then, so I've only had I think 13 people. Here's my little list. Look at my little
Yep.
chicken scratch list. I've only had 13 people say they want a pumpkin. So now I'm going to do a client appreciation event at a little wine bar and trophy club. Like they told me, they said, yeah, you can man it yourself. We don't need anybody there. We'll have a bartender there, and you can pay for everybody's first round of drinks. And I think I have 20 people coming. So it's not going to be that expensive.
So what's that going to cost you at most?
The pies will literally be, they're $6 at Costco. Like if y'all ever had a Costco pumpkin pie, they're this big. They're the best pie. They're $6.
Yeah, $6, and
So
then your wine events maybe what, $500 at most.
I don't think it's even going to be that, honestly.
Yeah.
So they're going to come pick their pie up. So anyway, I'm just saying, working
And
on
then
an
you get
end of
those
the
real
year.
life connections. You get that face to face. You get the relationship piece.
Yeah. And you know me, Mark, I'm always screaming for that. Like this virtual stuff, I'm like, okay, can we not meet in person for morning club? Come on. I need to. So it's like, I'm
Well, we
ready.
have people in 26 different states and 36 different
I
cities.
know. I wish I could hug them all.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm more about let's get in person, let's meet. You know, I'm really considering doing a that's a long drive virtual hugs.
Well, that's the purpose, Kim, of the small groups. See, we're covering the whole nation, but the small groups can meet locally and do all those fun things.
Yes, and it makes you feel closer, more like a family, and
Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
I love that. Um, okay, another thing that I've kind of talked about for the last couple of years, anytime I talk to you, word affirmations, guys. Like I'm huge on, you don't try, you don't maybe can do it. Like you got to take those out of your, like I can tell when I have a conversation with somebody, I can tell right away how their confidence level is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, those words have to come out because when you're a new agent and you're talking to another agent, like that new agent insecurity, that's the word I'm looking for, no confidence, like that just oozes. Like that's the first thing we hear. It's like, oh, there's a new agent. So how long have you been in business? Oh, like 2 months. It's like, oh. But you got to take, my point wasn't that, but the point is that those words have to come out of your vocabulary. And I mean, I have, call me crazy, but I have like a list of word affirmations for 2022 that I do, or for every start of the year. It's like, these are like 10 things that I'm going to for sure accomplish. So like last year is like, I'm getting my broker's license. I'm gonna have a successful team. We're gonna be in the top 20 again. We're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. And then you go to that word list every day and you speak it, and there's something about speaking it out loud. All you church people know what I'm talking about. Like there's a shift. I just love that word, a shift and a pivot that happens when you're speaking that out loud, because you're speaking it into existence. You hear it, you speak it, you hear it, and then you start to believe it. There's just something that happens with that. So I am huge on word affirmations. Oh my gosh, I have so much more I want to say. What books are you reading? I'm still reading. Oh
Put it
my
closer,
gosh.
put it closer to you. There you go. Yeah,
I'm
look at
still
that.
working on my traction, but you should have a set of books for 2022. Like I have $300 worth of books in my Amazon cart right now because I've been writing stuff down all year. Like Mark will say, you need to be reading this book. I'm like, oh, I got to add another book. And I'm not a reader, but
Is
I'm
Traction one
having
of your favorites?
Traction is one of my favorites. This and the 12-week year. This book, I keep going back to it and marking stuff.
Traction and the
And
12-week year. Those are two great ones for folks.
yeah, it's been really good. And we were talking before we got on about pivot. Yesterday I was listening to a podcast and he was talking about if you're not doing what you want to be doing, then you've got to put your foot in the sand and pivot. And a pivot it could be a 10-degree, 1-degree turn that can make all the difference. And that's why you have to assess what I've done in 21 that did work or didn't work. What am I going to carry over in 2022? And what new stuff am I going to implement? Because if it's not working for you, quit spending time and energy on it.
Right.
And if you need to do something different, then you need to be putting more time and energy into that. What else, y'all? What else?
We can go a little late. We can run a little late. What else you got on your notes there?
Well, so 2 things for 2022 that I'm personally going to be working on. I'm fixing to amp up my Google My Business is huge. If you do not have your uh, team name, I mean, even when someone goes to put in an address, like if I'm looking for Longhorn Steakhouse in Southlake and I'm putting that in my Google map, it's funny because I can see Kim Taylor, Realtor, JP and Associates, or JPAR Real Estate in Southlake. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that makes me feel so.
Yeah, you can
have
see
to
it
have
and
that
when you
set
do
up.
it because you're in the area, right? Mhm.
Yeah. So that's huge. You've got to make sure that's set up. So that is one thing monthly I'm going on there and adding photos because it's kind of like that analytic thing like Facebook. Like you've got to have that traction going
You
in
gotta
there.
have some photos. You should have at least 1 or 2 videos on there. And at least
Absolutely.
once a month, add a new photo of like your wine party or something.
Yeah. And then YouTube. Guy Arnold, I
Mhm.
tell you what, I've been watching him for the last couple of years on his videos, and I love videos. I've gotten really lazy about them. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I used to be the Facebook Live queen, and I've gotten away from it. But I'm going to amp up my YouTube this year. I'm doing a 5-day challenge right now with somebody. I don't even know who it is. And so that's kind of on my list. I need to work on my team website. I need to work on team emails. I really want to get KTREG Kim Taylor Real Estate Group, the website set up. And then, I have my GoDaddy.com. I have like my K Taylor Realtor on hold, and now we've got KTREG paid for. And it's just a matter of implementing all that. And again, that's where having an assistant comes in, because this is not my favorite thing to do. I can come up with a list. I like coming up with a list and then handing it to my husband and going, okay, now here, I need you to do it.
Right.
So my husband is my kind of assistant, which he just left to go somewhere. I wonder where he went. He didn't tell me he was going anywhere. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, so what is your word of the year? It's influencer.
Well, for real estate right now, it's I want to be an influencer. I don't have my personal word of the year yet, but still praying about it. So
Cool.
I want to be more intentional with people. I feel like
Intentional is a good word.
2020 and 2021 just really was not good for our mental psyche. And, we've talked about this. When you're a people person, I'm either in go, go, go mode, or I'm in stay home mode. And when I get in stay home mode, I don't want to do anything. And I think a lot of us have fallen into that. I mean, we have to get out and we have to show houses, right? So I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the extra stuff. Like I used to go every week to a title company to a CE class, or a, some kind of mixer, or a Roanoke After 5. We've gotten back to our monthly big, what are they called? Networking events, right?
Networking mixers, those kind of things. Yeah.
And I mean, is it a waste of time? Maybe, I don't know, but I like seeing people. I like talking to people. I like being face to face with people. And a lot of you guys that are local to DFW, I'm going to be reaching out to you because I'm fixing to do a top producer. Not that it has to be top producer. It's people I know that I want to know what you did in 21 that didn't work or that did work. And I think a roundtable discussion about that, because like I said, I'm not one of those agents who keeps all of her secrets to herself. I'll share with you what I did. You just have to call me and ask me.
Well, here's one of the things we ought to do. And again, this is where it can ripple down to the small groups. But remember, we have folks all over the country. So we ought to do, it would have to be virtual, but we could do a panel of folks from Florida, the Carolinas, Maryland, Colorado, Michigan, Arizona, and our Texas-based folks. And we could do a panel of 5 or 6 folks of what worked and what didn't work. That would be a great idea.
I just think it's really important because
and we'll do that. We have the convention coming up. So the convention live in person at the Toyota Music Factory, Irving Convention Center, coming up in March. That could be a great panel from across the nation that we could do in person in March. Yeah,
we could like reproduce it. I mean, I would like to do it. I was gearing towards doing it like the 1st of December, just because, the in-person thing, just because going, come March, like you better have your systems in place because we're going to be busy in March, right? That's why it's so crucial to be figuring out what you need to do and what you don't need to be doing in 2022 right now, because we're busy with the holidays. January 1's going to come. Man, you better already have your Q4. This is my 12-week year. Like this is for 2022. Like I've got it printed up. What are my sales going to be next year? And I used to not be this way, guys. I was pretty bad. I just kind of flew by the seat of my pants. And if you and I were having a conversation, you'd be like, Kim, so what's your sales right now? And I'd be like, no clue. But I know now.
Now, though, because I ask you all the time.
Yeah. I mean, you have to know. You've got to keep track. You've got to keep track. I hate missing all these chats. There's like 27 chats.
Yeah, you got to track and run your numbers. All right. Well, we got to wrap up. It's 8:30.
Okay.
We're going to have you back. We're going to have you back maybe next week to finish up.
Okay. I would love it because I only got like halfway through my list, John.
That's because I kind of distracted you a little bit.
Oh, okay.
This was really good. Really, really good. Very authentic, very real. We'll get you back in. Let's get you back in like the next couple days next week and finish up your notes.
You know, I always love coming on here.
All right. Well, there you have it, JPAR Nation. Back to the future. It will be 11:11 here on Thursday. Today it's 11:09. And until we see you in the morning, may your choices reflect your hopes and not your fears. Take care.